morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, November 18th, 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. In the United Kingdom, a major incident has been declared in Wales after reports of an explosion at a steel factory in Cardiff. At least several people have been injured, possibly some fatalities. 6 fire crews are at the scene. A spokesperson said the picture is still unclear, but it appears we're dealing with potentially 5 casualties. Workers at the plant claimed an explosion that they heard was very loud and deafening. Wales Online, the University Hospital of Wales in Cardiff, have been put on notice and are implementing protocols for a major incident. In reaction to the French terror attacks, there are a couple of things going on. The main event is what's happened in the Paris suburb of Saint-Denis. French police instituted an attack there at about 4:30 a.m. French time, 10:30 p.m. our time last evening. It was supposedly the suspected hideout of the terrorist who they're seeking, who is allegedly the mastermind of the attack in Paris on Friday night. The incident stretched on into the morning rush hour. French police had completely cordoned off the area. At least 5 people, 2 people have been killed and 5 have been arrested. One of the dead is a suicide bomber, a female who detonated herself as she was approached by officers, supposedly injuring them. Meanwhile, last night, 2 Air France flights from the United States to Paris were diverted because of bomb threats. One flight from Los Angeles to Paris was diverted to Salt Lake City, where it was searched. It was deemed to be fine. Another flight from Washington's Dulles to Charles de Gaulle in Paris was diverted to Halifax, Nova Scotia. That flight was also fine. Danish police have also called off a bomb scare at Copenhagen's International Airport. It was as a result of suspicious baggage and also a conversation that was overheard by an official about a bomb. There were massive commuter train and subway line traffic tie-ups on the lines leading to the airport. This news coming from Turkey that the Turkish military has killed a suspected Islamic State militant who was trying to cross the border from Syria to Turkey. The Turks have also announced that they detained 8 people at the main Istanbul airport under suspicion of being Islamic State militants planning to make their way to Germany. The 8 had arrived on a flight from Casablanca and were found to have on their possession a hand-drawn map of a planned route from Turkey to Germany via Greece, Serbia, and Hungary. The 8 claimed to be staying at a hotel in Istanbul, but after a telephone check, it was found out that they weren't. Meanwhile, in France itself, French President Hollande has dispatched the French aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle to the Mediterranean, the Eastern Mediterranean, to help in the fight against ISIS. He also said that France would not cede to fear and is urging his compatriots to go back out to cafes and museums and live life to the fullest. And also last evening, a soccer match in Hanover that had been scheduled to be attended by Angela Merkel, the Chancellor, as well as other cabinet members, was called off at the last moment because of apparently concrete threats about a possible attack on the stadium. The match was against between the German national team and the Dutch national team. President Obama has been being briefed by all of this. He is in Manila for a conference on the Asian nations. In Washington State, 2 people have been killed and about 360,000 people remain without electricity as of right now because of a storm that packed winds of about 50 miles per hour and knocked down numerous power lines. The people are out of power in Seattle and parts of its suburbs, as well as in Snohomish County. AXA, the big insurance company in Europe, has won approval from the City of London to develop an office tower at 22 Bishopgate, right in the City of London. It's right down by the Swiss Re Gherkin as well as the Aon cheese grater. This building will have 62 floors. It's going to have 1.4 million square feet of workspace. The UK flood insurance vehicle Flood Re is set to secure about $3.3 billion US in reinsurance. Flood Re is a not-for-profit organization run by the insurance industry that permits primary insurers to pass the flood risk element of a home insurance policy into a fund that would pay any flood claim. The government provides the ultimate backstop for large claims until Flood Re's reserves have been used up. Reinsurers, including Munich Re and Swiss Re, have offered about 1.3 billion pounds of cover for the 3-year program. The rest of the policy is going to be filled out now. They're going to need another 720 million pounds or so. Guy Carpenter is acting as the broker. The United States is watching this effort with interest because flood losses in the U.S. are covered by the National Flood Insurance Program, which is part of FEMA. So if this transfer of these public sector risks to the private sector works in the UK, we might see it here. The big 3 Japanese primary insurers have reported a loss of about 169 billion yen, or about $1.13 billion in losses related to recent domestic natural catastrophes, which have made a significant dent in their underwriting results. The 3 had been previously forecast to lose about 120 billion yen, so they've come out about 49 billion yen worse off. This would be Sompo Japan, Tokyo Marine, and Mitsui Sumitomo. And it looks as if we're going to get a rate hike in the United States, an interest rate hike next month at the Federal Reserve meeting. News came this morning that U.S. consumer prices for October have increased after 2 straight months of decline. This is fanning evidence that inflation has finally begun to return. The economic outlook got another boost this morning when a pretty solid increase in manufacturing output for October was revealed as well. So now the consumer price index increased 0.2% during the month of October. This would be a rate increase in the interest rate from near zero, most likely 25 basis points, although some are saying it could be 0.5% at the Federal Reserve meeting December 15th and 16th. It had better happen soon because millions of Americans refinance their mortgages to take advantage of the low interest rates, only to see the low interest rates continue. So if they begin to go up, many of us will feel satisfied that we made the right decision. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.